Who's the King of New York?
King of New York. There's a couple of them. Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, and I'm gonna throw DMX and Puffy. That's it. Ain't no Trey Young.
Trey Young.
we could just start from there. Just start whenever you're ready, Peter.
Yeah. So if y'all didn't hear, we doing our funny faces. Those screenshot pictures y'all see on the IG post. We just posting for that. But welcome back to Out of the Bird podcast. It's your boy Pete, your boy Shamar, and Chris. How are y'all doing?
I'm cool, bro.
Yeah.
You know, another day, another penny.
Yeah. I always ask this, but was y'all weeks any different from the other weeks that I ask you this question?
Hey, bro, I'm not even gonna lie, my weeks be stagnant. I was thinking about that last week. I'm just gonna do something wild, just be like I did that this week, guys. But like, nah, not really.
Ain't wrong.
I'll say this. My week wasn't. All I did was I just made a desk in the office. Now I can stand and do this. I can sit and do this. I could, and actually work. It's helped me with my job. Substantially. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can actually sit on the desk and work. But I mean, that's it. And the fact I'm recording for my loft now. So
big man.
Cool. But
decisions over there.
Yeah, a lot of adult. I have to actually do a lot to this house. I mean, this apartment in the coming weeks. But let's get on to the weekly topics. Now, y'all hear about Naomi Osaka leaving the Grand Slam and her reasonings, mental health. What are your thoughts on the whole situation, if any?
I think it was the right idea because I feel like people often kind of look at athletes like, just another means of entertainment, which they are. They are entertainers by just, the field they work in. But like that, they literally look at them as just that. Like they don't look at them as people at all. And so when she's saying like, hey, I'm having a hard time mentally, or I'm having a hard time doing this, that, or other, they'll be like, okay, but how does that affect you? How do you think that affect your game? She's just like, I'm trying to have a human conversation here, and you talking about the game right now. And so I think like it was probably the best idea because like they even thought they could like threaten her with the fines and stuff, and that wasn't enough to like make her bat an eye. So I applaud the young lady on that.
Yeah, I just think people are different, So and I've seen her talk. Saw her, our boyfriend's Wabi and Corday. I've seen her speak. She's very introverted.
Yeah.
Very, very introverted.
And she says she is.
Yeah, she's not the type to talk. I remember when I saw her talk, I really thought she was like how do you explain it? One of those people that's just like, not necessarily soft, but just very gentle. That's what she gives off. So someone that's like really gentle and really calm and quiet. You don't like, for me, it's just like if she says, hey, I don't like talking to the media. You can throw this to Kawhi or even like, what's the dude? Marshawn Lynch and all these people. I bet you they don't like talking. I mean, Marshawn Lynch doesn't like talking to anybody. But these are people that if they say, hey, yo, I don't want to talk, why are we forcing them to talk? Like
they act like they have ownership over them as a person and just can like command them to do what they want.
Yeah.
Like not everybody is made to talk in front of, literally everyone in the world.
Yeah. Basically. So if she says she has social anxiety and it's like it's scary for her to speak in front of people. And I know a lot of people like that. Shoot, we do a podcast. I'm kind of like, I don't like talking in front of people. I could do it, but I don't like it. It's kind of intimidating. You know, so I get it, but you know, you got guys like what's the more Pierce Morgan trying to say she's using mental health to, you know, disrespect the media and you know his racist bigoted self.
Yeah,
You know,
no,
talking,
he's
but
never been a ally to anybody except himself. So
narcissist wants to tell somebody else is a narcissist. How does
yeah.
that work? But yeah, I'm cool with Naomi, you know, saying that yo, I'm cool on talking. And if I have to sacrifice, not even a sacrifice, because she's nice. If I don't have to play.
Yeah, no, she's made more than enough money.
Like
It's true.
she could retire today. I beat Serena twice.
Yeah. That enough is a legendary accomplishment.
Shout out to Naomi Osaka. You know. So the next one here. Monique is out here telling y'all to stop wearing pajamas and bonnets. What do you think, Shamar? What do you think, Chris?
Hey, look, it depends on what you consider pajamas. Because like I wear shorts to bed. One day that might be pajamas. Who knows? In a couple of days, those are what I wear to the gym to go work out. So like, I get the bonnet thing. Like, I mean, I wouldn't say don't wear a bonnet, but you know, pick and choose your situation where you wear the bonnet out. Like, don't. Like, I think he's probably even referring. So I just saw like an article on Twitter where like a lady, something happened and she was wearing a bonnet during her like interview with the news. Like, all right, that's the situation. Like, hey, I mean, maybe you take off the bonnet, maybe your hair's not done, put a hat on, something else. But like, because then a lot of people get labeled as ghetto and stuff like that when you are doing an interview and you're wearing a bonnet. But who am I or who is she to tell someone that like, hey, you're not allowed to wear your pajamas outside of your home. Like, nah, let me wear my pajamas wherever I want to. They're comfy for a reason. Let me do it.
Yeah, and I'm with you there. I didn't see that thing about somebody wearing a bonnet to their interview, but I definitely wouldn't recommend that. And I'm kind of mixed on it myself. The whole I don't think she should be telling grown people what to do, honestly. But I don't really know how to answer it because like some people, you know, may have like some type of anxiety. Some people just, you know, might just be going to go see grandma, and grandma don't care if you're wearing a bonnet.
Exactly.
Some people, you know, just need some way to just feel comfortable on the plane. Like, you know what, I'm going to wear my bonnet. I'm going to have my blanket, or just wear my PJs or something. You're going to be comfortable. I'm going to go to sleep on this plane. I know I am. I'm going to be on here for a while. I might as well be comfortable. It's probably people's mindsets, and I get that. I probably wouldn't wear my PJs on a plane, but like again, they're not me, so I'm not going to tell some other grown person what to do. I don't like. I you might and again, like you don't really know what reason they're going because they could be a CEO of whatever company. You're telling them they look unprofessional, but they're not going for a professional reason, and you're just assuming they are.
All right, y'all on the same. I'm a little like I kind of agree with Monique. Like the bonnet thing, you know, I'm not because I wear do-rags. Well, I used to wear a do-rag. Now I got my hair out, but I wear a do-rag, and I was a time where one time I was going to pick up my brother, and I went to it with my do-rag, and my mom was like, "Hey, do you want Donald Trump and the police to catch you?" I was like, what are you talking about? What do you like? I didn't even like to wear a dashiki at one point. It was like, why are you wearing a dashiki out? So I kind of get the whole bonnet thing. However, a bonnet and pajamas outside, to me, that's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah. Those are like, if it's just a bonnet with like a sweater or like something, cool. But a robe?
Yeah, okay. Robe's a little heavy.
Robe was a lot.
She was saying, because some black people be wearing robes.
Yeah, no, I understand that too, yeah.
But like, it's one thing if you just put on the bonnet or a do-rag. But like, even I'm not really, I've seen people wear pajamas out, but dog, those kind of look like, those are, I look at when, this is me, I'm probably a traditionalist, but I look at wearing pajamas as I'm about to go to sleep. So when I see somebody out wearing pajamas like that, I'm just like, Nick, was you gonna sleep on the road? You gonna sleep? What is this? It kind of looks to me. It just looks like some clown stuff to me. Just to put on pajamas outside.
Yeah,
like
but what about the people that bring the pajamas to the airport, get changed in the bathroom, and then like right on the plane with that?
What? Change in the bathroom? Do they take the pajamas off?
Like they go to the bathroom to put pajamas on because they're about to go on the plane, so they can be comfortable in those pajamas, and then when they get to like the next airport, they change again. Because I've seen that.
That's okay. That makes sense because I'm assuming that you're gonna sleep.
I know it's not everybody, but I have seen that before.
But that makes sense because like I'm assuming you're going to sleep on the plane like that. So that makes sense. But just to wear it, like if you're wearing pajamas in the afternoon, bro, that looks very weird. I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it depends on where your destination is. Because like, let's just say, oh, I need to go to the store real quick. Like, I'm not going to change just to go to the store for like a hot second. Like, no, let me just go as I is, grab what I need to grab. And like, I'm not there to socialize with people. I'm there to get what I need to get and then go back home. So I think that's like, it does vary from situation to situation. Like, you shouldn't just be wearing it out and about running all the errands with them on. Like, no, that's a little tacky. But if you're just going a quick stop, boom, I'm going to 7-Eleven real quick, grabbing something, coming back, like it's straight.
Yeah. Like for me, I'm cool with the bonnet because I wear people put on do-rags, so the bonnet I don't have an issue with.
Yeah.
But the pajamas and the robes and stuff, for some people to just be doing, like, yo.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a few hats.
That robe was a lot.
Yeah,
that robe was a lot.
Yeah. I remember some time ago, Mello went to a 7-Eleven. I think he was with Lala. He put on a robe. It's like, dog, Carmelo Anthony, man.
Well, he probably did that because he's Carmelo Anthony.
I'm about to say he got fuck you money. So hey,
yeah.
Once you're at that type of status, it's like, hey, who are you to tell me what I cannot do?
Like his robe probably costs more than what we like make.
Yeah, him, Floyd, and the rest, they could do that. They got the money. But on to greatness. So, Mr. Shamar predicted on the show. We said we all agreed, but you brought it up that Nicki should be on the Mount Rushmore, and according to Rap Caviar and just hip hop in general, they placed Nicki in the fourth slot. So,
I mean, well deserved.
Yeah, like
rest in Nicki.
Just overall, she had it.
I've seen a lot of people argue this. They keep arguing Big Sean and Future. That's the two names that come up, but I'm just like, bro.
Said Big Sean and who?
Future.
Oh, Future. Oh, well.
Those are the two names that come up a lot, but it's Nicki. Yeah.
Crazy thing is, my little brother said Future, but I was like, I mean, Future is a good shout, but just Nicki overall is just
let's they're in a different category. They're in the trap. If you want to just talk trap music, Future is number one.
Yeah,
but I can't understand what he's saying. Future talk. Yeah. Quick shout out to the Don, prepping the Don pod. I heard that Future thing. Hilarious. Mm-hmm. I don't know how we need a soundboard because that I will.
I'm gonna tell you, bro. We need a soundboard. It's just cost a little more bread than I.
I forgot that cartoon, but it was like I was record motherfucker. Like what? Shout out to the perfect dog. But Mayweather versus Logan Paul, I think it's tomorrow today. Brief thoughts because I don't want to even, this is not really a necessary thing. We all know Mayweather's gonna win, so.
Well, I mean, this is coming out, I guess, afterwards. So I pray to God he wins, though. Because if he doesn't, bro, I might stop watching sports. Honestly, just all together, everything, man. Basketball, football, rugby,
don't matter, no sports,
everything. Because I don't have nothing to believe in if he loses to him no more.
They always say that. They always say this one thing. One shot could change a whole fight. But for a guy like Mayweather, who we've seen beat legit people, his brand will tank enormously if he loses.
That's what I'm saying.
But the thing is, like, I just came to see Jake Paul, or whichever Paul brother is like I can't even see him getting a clean shot. He might tag him a little bit, like a couple jabs here and there, but like that's nothing. Like he's not hitting with no haymaker or nothing. Like I just don't see like you've been a professional.
Definitely no real like power shots are getting the end of Floyd, but it's just like I don't want to say like, oh, he's gonna like whack him or something, but it's just like because I don't want to jinx it, to be honest. It's not that I don't think it's not that I don't think like Floyd can win easily. I just don't want to jinx it and be like, nah, there's no way Floyd's gonna lose. And then he just gets whacked somehow. And again, like you right, Peter, that would destroy his brand because that's literally his everything. But I don't know.
Even the rules to this fight are just so foolish. I don't want to talk because it's so like even like if they go the distance, there's no official winner.
Yeah, there's no winner. So it's like, what do you guys? It's a money fight. Like, oh, we both win our money at the end of the day. Well, you guys are gonna get the money regardless.
I mean, either way, the Paul brothers win this because they got Floyd Mayweather to fight them. Whichever one it is, I don't remember.
Yeah, it is. This Logan Paul dude has never won a fight.
Yeah, bro, he lost to KSI.
Yeah, he's never won a fight. It's the other one that been knocking out people.
Yeah. But even the other one hasn't really been. He hasn't fought anybody good. Like he fought the UFC fighter that everybody said was trash. Yeah, I can't even think of anybody else he's fought. But like
Nate Robinson.
I mean, but bruh, come on, dog. Come on, dog.
Should have been a dunk competition, man. He would have won.
Yeah, but shout out to them for like, hey, they're making their money. They're getting interest in these fights. So more power to them.
Yeah, who needs to go to school when you a Paul brother?
Exactly, can't knock the hustle.
Just fight somebody for it.
More power to. Let's talk about something more realer and something more cooler. Chris, not to you. The Lakers got bounced out the first round. What were your thoughts? Shamar, you can start.
You see the light-skinned brothers are taking over the league, Peter?
Why did you have to...
Because that light-skinned... No, ain't no timeout. That light-skinned brother in Phoenix, cooking. You see, hey, what the king of New York do? Because we're going to get to him. Hey, what the king of New York do?
I'm not a Knicks fan, but dang it, Trae Young.
What did the king of New York do? He said, this is my city. This is my state. Not my city. This is my state.
So what? Devin Booker, the king of LA now?
No, I ain't gonna go that far. He cool in Phoenix, but he ain't the king of LA. LeBron was still giving them works.
Contra to popular belief, I'm actually a Devin Booker fan.
I know.
Continue. Yeah, Chris.
But hey, shout out to the Suns finally getting LeBron out in the first round. It was a hell of a series. I think AD being hurt was a big impact on it, but I don't think the Lakers are gonna win it regardless.
Yeah, no. And like it was even like when we were talking about like our predictions, like I think it was with Swab Milan. I can't remember.
Swab Milan.
Like back then. I even said like if we're healthy, we're good to go. If we're not, then I don't see us making it very far. And honestly, the one team that scared me the most in this whole thing because of last year, because they were deprived of even being able to play in the playoffs last year, was Phoenix, and that's who we had to play. And so, like, because it just, to me, it felt like they were going to have a chip on their shoulder, regardless who they were playing against, just to, like, prove that they were worthy last year and this year.
Yep.
And regardless of it being, like, true or not, like, they clearly came to play and took advantage of, like, our injuries, which they should have, because AD wasn't healthy. And honestly, kind of everybody else was not, picking up any type of slack at all.
Mm-hmm.
And like we could say, well, LeBron did this. LeBron tired, man. LeBron tired. LeBron's still human, regardless of popular belief. He gets tired.
Yeah,
36, I think.
Yeah, 30. About to turn 37 this year.
Oh, 30, okay.
Couple of thoughts. I wasn't. I wasn't shocked that they lost because Phoenix was just hungry.
Yeah, and like as soon as they said AD had a groin injury, I was just like, oh, he's done.
Yeah.
big man like that coming back from a groin injury, I don't see that happening in the playoffs.
Yeah, and the whole thing with AD being hurt and like that team, honestly, they're not. LeBron isn't what he was 4 or 5 years ago, where he could just say, "Hey, give me some shooter." And even y'all can't really shoot. Y'all was
Nah, we be killing ourselves, man. We just like if it don't work, just try again. And it's just like just die by your own sword,
yeah.
you know.
So I mean, I'll say this: shout out to the Phoenix Suns. They did their thing. The Lakers, you know, a lot of things didn't go their way, you know. But I will say this: right now is not the time for GOAT conversations anymore. Not saying Bron was trash. Not saying it was his fault, but there were little things that I saw, little things that I saw where I was like, now is not the time. Just pause. Wait till next year when everybody's healthy, because right now is not a good time. No Skip Bayless and the rest of the extreme Jordan stands couldn't wait. Now no Shannon Sharp and Nick Wright. Damn, they had amnesia, but now is not the good time. Give it a year, you know, get everything back, and let's see what happens.
I blame Shannon too, man. He kept saying Lakers in 5. Stop, man. Jinxed us.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, LeBron is at the end of the day, he's a human, so it's like, and the league is like it we'll get to we'll tackle another thing in the questions later today. But it's not like the East where he could just find a team that was weak mentally, or he could find a Chicago Bulls that was young and Derrick Rose who was, or Paul George, and if you look at those teams, they wasn't as hungry as these teams in the West.
No, like, and it was just really just a series of unfortunate events for the Lakers. Like they were coming in as a hurt team, playing against a hungry team that had something to prove, and it just those two just did not add up for a favorable series for the Lakers.
Yeah. So shout out to Phoenix. Shout out to the D book. It's solidified in my book. No pun intended. But title favorites. Now that the Lakers are out and Nets are still in, Clippers are still in. Last night was a trip. Kawhi Leonard was on some, and that has to be the most. This is how the Dallas Clippers series is the most weird series I've ever watched.
Yeah,
I'm loving the Luka memes though.
Yeah, but if y'all had to pick a title favorite right now, who would y'all pick?
Title favorite?
Yeah, just to win it all.
Shit, I'm still rocking with the Nets. I chose them from the start. Killed it.
Brooklyn.
Gino.
I'm gonna still say Nets, but only if they're healthy.
Yeah.
And if not, I think the Bucks, maybe.
Word.
Nets, and if the Clippers can survive, I'll put them in the finals.
I don't know.
I don't trust them.
It don't feel right.
It don't trust me. It don't. They were my because I want to see my brothers suffer. I want the Nets and the Clippers, you know, but like you said, it's not a safe pick. So I'm still gonna be there and say Nets, Clippers. But if not, I'll probably go Bucks or Utah. I like Utah a lot.
I like Utah too. Utah got something to prove too, honestly.
Yeah,
Because remember LeBron was saying like nobody think about Utah. Nobody think about them like that. It's like
if they win a championship, that's gonna come back
same year,
and that's gonna come back on Bron. Well, listen, man. I know you're gonna face the Goon Squad this summer, but man, you a lot go be all your play. But Shamar, Nets, Chris, Nets. Me, Nets. KD, Kyrie, Harden.
Hard combination to beat.
Hard combination to beat. But speaking of them, speaking of Kyrie, have to give Bozo of the week. And I don't know why, but it just seems like the energy out there. I don't know if it. Well, I'm not gonna even say what I was gonna say because it could be taken out of context. But something wrong with y'all fans, man. Something is wrong with the NBA fan today. Kyrie comes there after having a bad game 4, comes to the Garden, and he busted the Boston Celtics pretty bad. You know what I'm saying? They close out in Brooklyn later on, but he did his thing. Now, I'm not justifying this, but Kyrie decides to be petty, just like me and a lot of people of the DSS, Dark Skin Society. He goes to Lucky and he stomps on his eye. You know the little white leprechaun, the logo? He stepped on it and he rubbed his foot. He's like, yeah, y'all was booing me. Y'all was whatever. That's what you get. He's leaving the building and a white boy with a KG jersey, which he thought would make a difference, decided to throw a water bottle at him. And it missed his face by it literally missed his face. Like it would have hit him. Why are you doing that, man? Why are you throwing a water bottle? Just because he stepped on a logo or be put why are y'all trying to literally attack these NBA players? Like they're humans. They're not in the circus. They're not animals. And now you got to charge. It does sound silly to get a charge for that, but you got to charge. And they're saying it's a deadly weapon.
Mm-hmm.
That's our legal system, fellas.
Yeah.
A water bottle is considered a deadly weapon. But why put yourself in that position?
Yeah, I mean,
stupid, man. Stupid.
It just, I don't know. It just seemed like everybody wants to smoke and don't nobody really want smoking when they realize they can't put out the fire type stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just like, huh?
Oh no, go keep going.
No, but it's just like I don't truthfully I don't understand because it's just like would you really do that if he was just going if you threw that and then you thought he was gonna run and just attack you, then you would say he assaulted you. People real life would just be like, he assaulted me and he did this and the other and I did nothing wrong. And the whole time he actually was the one who initiated it the first time. They people truly do not think before they act. And even if they do think before they act, then it's even more foolish because it's just there is no end game or logic to their situations where they just think I can do this to this other person and this other person is completely okay with this and they just understand that this is just going to happen because I can do this. I have a right as a fan and they can do nothing. Like this person who is athletically gifted won't just walk up and just steal me in the face right now. Who's probably just, even if I was a fighter, just probably just too athletic for me to touch because they're at a superior level in their craft.
Yeah, I mean, Chris, I'm just thinking the fans don't get logic. It'll take one of them to actually get punched in the face by one of these people. Sadly,
yeah. We won't see
what was it called when what's his name did it? Malice in the Palace. Yeah.
They'll take that.
Number 2.
Apparently, and don't get back then. You don't want to see Steven Jackson, Jermaine O'Neal, and Meta World Peace coming to you. Them some other type, but I'll say this.
Don't want to see Russell Westbrook either, but they was trying to get him too.
Oh, and another sneaky one, DeMarcus Cousins. That dude, that dude is shook.
He looked like he don't care.
Shook Knight. That's Shook Knight in the NBA. I don't want that to walk up on me. But
try me.
But again, Bozo of the week goes to the Celtics fan. You're an idiot. Sound effects, please.
Stupid.
I got you.
Yeah. But let's move on to the actually I'm gonna switch things up a little bit. We were supposed to do Twitter topics, but for the sake of time, we're gonna do these questions quick. Now I'm gonna start. Let me start with some of these questions I'm not even gonna. Yeah. There was a best movies of all time. We've answered that before, right?
Yeah.
Our favorite movies of all time, right?
No, we just named off some good movies that we liked, I think.
Okay. Okay.
Or no, we did name our favorite movies because Head of State.
Head of State.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shamar, were you on that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Me and Chris had Head of State, but somebody said not a question, but Avery is cool. Okay.
I wonder who.
Yeah, we wonder who said that. But shout out
Avery, stop shouting yourself out. Come on, dog.
Okay, another one. Why is Chris Kelly so awesome?
Wonder who asked that one.
Yeah,
Chris, why are you so awesome? The people want to know.
I got invited onto this, podcast here, and it just kind of equaled awesome. Therefore, Chris is awesome.
Makes sense.
It correlates. It's math.
all right. Chris answered that. Now this, will the Bulls ever be good again? I wonder who asked this dumb question. I don't know. Look, man, it's a work in progress. We are Chicago Bulls are rebuilding.
So will it ever be good again?
Yeah.
Who knows? Listen, the Nets. Listen, let me tell you a story about the Nets. The Nets traded all their assets to the Celtics, and look at them now. They got KD, Harden, and Kyrie.
Yeah, I guess so. If we take it that road, it'd be like eventually. Just like as long as they don't get renamed or change teams or something like that.
Yeah. The Chicago brand will be fine. Michael Jordan made us into something that's forever in culture.
Yeah. And you never really know when you're getting a diamond in the rough either these days, though.
Yeah, you never know. So
true.
But what's the next question? There's a lot of questions. Would you rather never listen to music or never watch TV again? I think we've had this on the reunion. We had a question.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
Yeah.
I think I said I'd rather listen to music.
Music. I can't do without music.
I don't know. I think I might go with TV.
I think you said that last time too.
Yeah.
We consistent.
Yeah. Nothing changes on our podcast.
Now, okay. Who's the king of New York? Oh God.
Trae Young.
I'm gonna have to go with my fellow co-host here and say Trae Young as well.
Chris, you've been contaminated. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't.
Peter, who's the king of New York?
King of New York. There's a couple of them. Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, and I'm gonna throw DMX and Puffy. That's it. Ain't no Trae Young.
Trae Young.
Ain't no Trae Young. You disrespecting New York.
Hey.
But I have another interesting question since we want to be petty on here. Why does Shamar keep calling Trae Young the king of New York? Isn't LeBron the king of Toronto?
Sort of, but then he left and then we won. So he lost his crown and we gave it to Kawhi. Okay,
that's good. That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
That's like they didn't win, so
I say he let the throne unattended to, and Kawhi was like, "Well, I guess I'll just sit here." And now it's Kawhi's.
Well, someone asked who our championship favorites are, and we all know that.
Yeah, we just said that.
Okay. Oh, here's an interesting. Well, the person that asked this is always going to ask how you all met the squad and your first impressions from your perspectives. So the person is asking us how we all met, the Frostburg crew that we are. We can name the people's names, but I don't think they know who they are. How we all met.
We can give a simplified version real quick because that could be a whole episode in itself. Honestly,
that's an episode in the works.
So just my quick answer is I knew Javon. He said, "Ayo, come through." I met the crew. And then these two came later. They was cool. And then that's my quick answer.
Yeah.
Peter?
Oh, you want me to go? Oh, okay. So I met Avery at a frat party. I met Avery at a frat party, and then me and him were hanging out with this other dude who was supposed to be my roommate the next year, Richie. Then I was supposed to go to another frat event for a Super Bowl party, but Avery was like, "Nah, come to this party I got." He told me this like literally an hour beforehand, and I was just like, "All right, I'll go." And I met everybody there. I don't think Shamar was there, but I met everybody else there, including the girls. And when I was there, funny thing, when I was there, I think the only person I really talked to was Chris.
Yeah.
That's the person I talked to. And Chris was cool. I'm like, cool. And then everybody else was kind of, I wouldn't say everybody else was, because he asked first impressions. I'm an awkward dude. And I don't expect people to really rock with me like that. So when I came there, I was not expecting anyone to talk to me. So it was cool. And Shamar and Rod was there, but Shamar I met through a weird housing situation.
It's true. It's true.
So, my first impression was y'all look like a tight knit of people, and we just got cool after that. So Shamar, if you have an answer,
man, really met the squad through Rod because we had basically every class together our first year at Frostbury. First impression, y'all are wild. Let me not say it, y'all. They know who y'all is.
Yeah.
They know who the y'all is. But for the most part, the group was a wild group. I'm like, God damn. But then, hey.
Gathering of people.
Yeah, honestly, no one say a band of misfits, but
I mean that's what we was going by for a minute though.
all the broken toys in your toy chest, that's who the squad was. But hey, I would say, first impression, y'all were crazy, but here we are today.
Yeah, we're shooting the podcast.
Oh, and my first impression, y'all two was just cool on my first impression, but the crew as a whole, I was just was my first impression.
I'll say this, a funny little story. Like before I actually went to the Super Bowl party, there was a story I heard about somebody. I'm not going to say the name. And I got two people confused because of that story. I'll say that I got Javon and Jerm mixed. I'm not gonna say the story, but I got those two mixed.
They look very similar.
In the grand scheme of things, it makes sense though.
Yeah, the context of that story, it makes sense. But I did get them too confused. But the person who asked this, you got your answer. Honestly, this has to be an episode one day. We'll get Gerard and as many people because that would be hell for Chris to edit.
Yes, it would.
But yeah, is that all the questions? Yeah, I think that's all the questions this week that we answered. That's it. That's all the questions. So keep asking us questions and just keep it up. But on to the next, the Twitter topics. Cat Williams' perspective on cancel culture. Gave a very interesting answer. Chris, what was it specifically? Because I kind of got a little late on that. You and Shamar kind of had that. What did Cat really say?
Well, he was kind of like making the comparison between like there's a speed limit on the road. You might not like it, but it's necessary. And there might be a boundary in basketball that out of bounds. It might not like it, might not want it to be there, might want it to be bigger, but it's necessary. And so he just kind of, making the parallel that like if there's an actual like boundary needed, and so how do I word this better? Yeah, if there's an actual boundary as opposed to just like being like here, there, and everywhere, then it just kind of works better. Okay. Or rather for creativity, because you see like there's a box you're in. Now, how do I make this box work?
Okay. Well, Shamar, I thought you got to bounce real quick.
Yeah.
So we'll let you do that.
See you, bro.
Deuces.
Peace. And then there was just two. How do I answer this? I think here's my perspective on that since you broke it down. Although I get where he's coming from, and it has to, because what he's basically saying, if there's a boundary that they make, try and sharpen your tool around it, right?
Yeah, yeah, basically.
But my counter to that is just like with comedians, you're supposed to go outside of that boundary. That's what makes a comedian a comedian. That's what made Cat Williams, saying stuff that's uncomfortable and funny. So when you create that boundary as a comedian, or when they keep creating these boundaries, where do you? Because for me, I like comedy that's like, oh, he said that. Oh my God. That's how comedians, unless it's the Wayans, because the Wayans, they're just like, they just do stuff that's just like, I wouldn't say out of the box, but it's just like stupid.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, I just like comedians that just like, they go outside of the boundary and shake the room. And I think when you create a boundary, it creates like what can you really do, or what joke can you really do? How can you make a joke when you're in the box?
Well, that's his point, though. It's just like, I guess another thing he was saying is just like, because like as time is going on, people are getting more sensitive, but that's what you want. So you can actually like people are saying like, well, you're being too sensitive about this, that, and the other, as opposed to like actually understanding like, I guess like one another, I think was his point. And he was kind of like, when you only go for a shock value joke, are you really making them laugh, or are they just like laughing at, oh my gosh, I can't believe he said that, as opposed to being like actual reliant on your skill as a comedian, as opposed to like the actual shock value of that joke.
But here's the thing,
just to, I guess, to give that more legs, if somebody's funny, they're funny, as opposed to be like somebody says something, oh my gosh, that's crazy, I can't believe you said that, and then you're just laughing because he said it in a funny context.
Okay, but my thing to that is, people say he's a comedian, he's funny just naturally. I'll say that Calvin is a funny natural person, but he's a guy that says a lot of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, we laugh at it. One, we laugh at it because, oh my God, Cat said this. Well, we laugh at Cat because of the way he said it. Exactly. And what he said. Delivery matters, so I get that. But if they're telling Cat these pimp jokes are offensive, right? And he's like, huh? You know, you get what I'm saying? It's just like,
yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but it's just like, he's kind of like don't be the box that boxes yourself in type thing. Because like the true boundary is what you'd be like, well, I can't say this and I can't say this. Well, I guess I can't say nothing, as opposed to being like using like real life situations or other things like that. Not to say that his pimp stories aren't real, because I'm sure some of them are, and I'm sure he can, use it in a way that doesn't necessarily have to be like, oh, well, you crossed the boundary, because we've had conversations on here where you could say we probably would have crossed the boundary, but we know how to, word our words correctly.
Yeah. Okay. You said real life situations, right?
Mm-hmm.
About jokes about real life. I remember a couple months ago, Kevin Hart was making jokes about his real life situations, and people wanted to cancel him because of that. Because of stuff he said about his daughter, about real life, how he thought about his daughter and son. So this is where I'm like, with Cat, I get what you're saying. But if they keep creating an out of bounds, if we're playing basketball and anything is a foul and anything is like, it takes away from the craft of what made basketball what it is. You can still find ways to be funny. I'm not saying you can't still be funny, but if people are always gonna keep making new rules and making it out of bounds, he could say, well, don't put yourself in a box. You're not necessarily putting yourself in a box, but if you try to do something else and they say that's something wrong with that too, how do you really become a comedian? Because the thing of with comedians is we make people laugh. We take people out their comfort zone. Everything is like, you know what I'm saying? And if everybody is offended about, because people these days are offended about anything.
Yeah, but just to, I guess, go with your basketball point there, it's like, well, if everything's a foul and you can't do this, that, and the other anymore, then that's just a completely different sport at that point, correct?
Exactly.
Then only the people who would be able to move around in that sport will be qualified to be able to like play that sport then at that point.
Yeah.
Which to his point is just like, if you're not able to keep up with those times anymore, then you're probably not qualified to be the comedian anymore, because if culture keeps changing, then probably comedy does too. And so
okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, I see what you're saying. But is it still comedy?
Exactly. If
it's not comedy anymore.
If it keeps changing anymore, then the whole concept of comedy will change, and it might not be funny to us, but it might work for somebody else.
That's true. I think
because you gotta remember, like we too aren't the culture.
Yeah, that's true. But the culture of comedy historically has been getting people out of their comfort zone, making certain jokes, and even like real life jokes about society. Those things. Who else? Like Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle's great at doing that. Dave Chappelle. Who else? Chris Rock. What's his name? Kevin Hart. They make jokes about their life. If people can find and be offended by that, it's like, where does a comedian go? It's like the only lane you have is like, okay, let's be like the Wayans and just act goofy.
Mm-hmm.
If one day we act goofy and they feel offended about that, then it's like, dang, what is really comedy anymore? And that's why I'm trying to get. That's why I get your point. It's like, if we keep making rules to this, it's not comedy anymore. It's becoming politically correct society. That's not comedy. Comedy is not politically correct.
Yeah, and just again, like I feel like I'm losing this point in my head here, but rather forgetting this point, having a brain fart. But it's just like I'm just gonna forget it because I forgot what I was about to say.
Yeah, but I do get what he's saying about sharpening your tool if they restrict you and say don't say this, don't say that. But if they keep making more rules, it's like, damn, what is comedy?
Oh, now I remember. It's just kind of like they're evolving, I guess you could say. And as they're evolving, and I guess so are haters, you could say, right? Like there and there's haters in everything. Like we were just talking about, like there's haters in the NBA, like the fans, people who pay money, probably not cheap tickets, coming. They're close enough to actually hit him with their popcorn. Those aren't cheap tickets. Yeah. So you see what I'm saying? Like people will waste their money just to say I hate you. Pay hundreds of dollars just to say I hate you. People are also evolving. They've grown from just being like internet trolls or on the back page of like things like Reddit or whatever to being like, I have $500 to waste just to tell you I hate you. And regardless of whatever their situation is, and it's just that too is a part of evolving culture right now. And so I feel like just the whole cancel culture thing is kind of like in the transition now. We're like, well, we gotta like actually sit down, like, was this what this person actually said offensive, or was the way that this person that's upset about it, is it the way they took it and just trying to make it offensive because they didn't like that joke?
Okay,
it's more like self-discretion, because it's just like somebody's making fun of like a paraplegic I think it's like paraplegic.
and live in color.
Quadriplegic. So somebody who can't walk, somebody who does not have the ability to walk.
Handicap.
And it's simply just to say just because they weren't able to walk, and there's no meaning behind it. They're just making fun of this person for whatever reason. As opposed to like saying like I don't know, being some crafty joke, being like, well, because this and the other, some I don't know, however they craft their joke. And be like, oh, well, that's actually funny and that's witty or whatever. However, the joke is supposed to be laid out. Yeah. There should be a reason and not just being like a target on somebody's back behind the joke, if that makes sense.
But
is where I think cancel culture should be coming in, as opposed to like which I think is like what Kat actually was kind of like saying the bounds, if that makes sense. You shouldn't be necessarily attacking people just for a laugh, or you shouldn't have to have shock value just to get a laugh.
Here's the thing, but I don't, because, and that's the thing, because what I'm saying is that's an element of it, right? Because you're saying attacking certain people or attacking a culture or you're making jokes about people or anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
The same cancel culture he's talking about get offended by other things as well.
Right. And again, that just goes back to my like last point. It's just kind of like cancel culture is kind of like you have to like just people in general, really, you have to be like, you have to, with your own discretion, be like, okay, this person was actually out of line. This person was not. But it's just people on the internet like to move in mob mentality like they do in real life. Yeah, and so to that point, there is just kind of like, individuality also comes into play for cancel culture as well, I believe.
And that's my issue with cancel culture in respects to that, because it's like y'all don't ever differentiate things or properly say what the issue is. You just go straight head forward when you're upset. Right? So when Kat's saying that, I get what he's saying, but cancel culture is just so like you said about evolving. It's evolved to the point where if I made a joke 10 years ago or 12 years ago, they want to cancel me for a thought I said 20 years ago. That's how it's evolved. So as a comedian, we know, okay, you set a boundary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Set a boundary. How do I evolve as a comedian if anything I say, you will find something to be mad about? And that's
just the thing, though. Again, with the self-discretion. That's what
cancel culture is.
I know, but that's just like the self-discretion type thing. It's just like people I think we talked about it on here, where it was even the governor of New York came on TV saying, talking about Trey Young and all this, that, and the other. It's just, cancel culture is literally, I feel like, what you make it to be. If that makes sense. Because like if you feel like, okay, this group of people canceled me, that's not the whole internet. This group of people canceled me. It was literally 1,000 people. To somebody like a Cat Williams, 1,000 people is not a lot of people to lose. And chances are they're probably still watching your stuff so they can like dislike it.
But here's the thing, Chris, you say, but cancel culture is never segmented. That's the thing with cancel culture. It's like,
and that's what I mean by it has that's what I mean by it has to like evolve though. Like and also self-discretion again.
Yeah. Because anytime they've like, and there are people I'm going to mention like R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, whoever they've canceled or so-called canceled. It's not just like it's just a mob of people. We don't have like these people feel offended. It's like you're canceled.
Yeah, cause I mean like the internet's so fickle these days. It could be like, I don't know, somebody like, man, I think peanut butter is awesome. And then like 1,000 other people are like, man, we hate this guy. He's canceled. And again, I know that's a silly one, and it's much harder to be canceled for something like saying you like peanut butter or something like that. But it's just like that is just kind of like that mob mentality. It's just like, I don't like peanut butter, and then like 1,000 other people say I also don't like peanut butter, and I need to express that to them on here. And so it's just, I don't know how to describe it other than because I keep saying mob mentality, but that's literally what it is, and it's just translating from like in person to the virtual world.
And it's funny because I just thought of something that we should have brought up, but it's funny you say fickle, how Twitter is fickle, right?
Yeah.
A guy like, in cancel culture is kind of like weird, right? A guy like Damson Idris, right? The dude that plays Franklin.
Yeah.
Girls are like, oh my God, he's fine. He's this or that. He's like a symbol of, shout out to the DSS community, by the way. He's a symbol of like, oh, he's that guy, right? He tweets that, he has one tweet that says, hey, girls, if you know you're going out with a guy and you don't want to go out with him, don't text, like just say, just let him know you don't want to rock with him. Everybody wanted to cancel him because of that, and it's called him corny. The girls flipped on him because of that. And I'm just like, what? First of all, if you don't want to like talk to somebody, you just tell them. Common logic. But they're upset about some silly shit like that. And then they want to cancel him right after saying he's the sex symbol and he's beautiful and he's all that. And that's what cancel culture is. And that's what I have an issue with, because it's like, with comment, it's like, what can you really say? People are just going to find something to just... So for me, I'll just throw the book out, bro. Just make your jokes, man. Because like people will find something to, cancel you for.
Yeah, but and again, that's kind of just like the point I'm making. Like, people will look for a reason, and it's not all people. It'll be like you'll see it on like what's the post that be making posts about everybody, or the account making posts about everybody? Not Breakfast Club. You know who I'm thinking about right now.
Who?
They make stuff about everybody, but their stuff is censored for some reason. Like, they won't have no cuss words on it or nothing. Anyway, just accounts like that one, and I'll probably put it up somewhere because I don't want to look stupid right now thinking about it. But it's just like, it's accounts like those that be like, did you see what such and such said? And they'll be like, how do you guys feel about this? And then it'll be like somebody comments, I don't understand what he's saying, or I don't understand what he's saying about that. And it's a snowball effect, right?
Yeah.
And so like it'll be like, oh, well, and then you'll see another post. Is such and such canceled because of this, or is he belittling women because of this? It's again a snowball, and it just kind of keeps tumbling and tumbling like that. And for those who use their own discretion and like be like, maybe this whatever he said wasn't actually that serious, and like, okay, well, maybe that's just what he wants, and he just wants people to be blunt with him or something like that. Like, yeah. Okay, like chances are like somebody he'd want to talk to would actually understand that, right?
Yeah. So
the audience he was even targeting probably didn't even respond that way, but those who were just kind of just like here for the moment, just like, yeah, we hate him now.
Yeah.
Well, people who join that snowball effect typically probably don't even like really think for their own selves and just be swayed by internet emotions.
But I'm just saying, that's why I'm saying people are fickle.
Yeah.
And to me, if you're a comedian, I feel like you shouldn't be put in a boundary unless it's something that's really like, because like if you're gonna like fine, fine. If it's a jokes about particular people or a joke targeted at racial lines, or like, because even that's tricky, or even like religion or something, fine. But if I'm talking about my life, you gonna restrict me from talking about my life?
Again, bro, that's literally just people just being like jerks. If you're talking about, oh, yo, man, my mom was tripping, and then they're just like, man, he doesn't respect his mom, let's cancel him. Like, no, that obviously those aren't his fans, right?
But there are, but what I'm trying to get my point across is that's where cancel culture is going to. It's not just about kind of like Me Too and racial lines and religion. It's also these silly things that people want to cancel people for. And I'm just like, for me, just to me, that is where there is no boundary. You can't bound. If I'm talking about life or my perspective on things, you cannot put a boundary. That's why I disagree with Cat Williams.
Yeah, no, but I don't think he was literally like actually like talking about. I don't think he even said like referring to his life necessarily. Just as a whole, just as a whole. Like there should be a boundary, and you shouldn't need necessarily a shock value to get your laughs if you're actually qualified to be a comedian and telling funny jokes. You shouldn't have to be like, oh man, did you see what such and such did? That was so crazy. Like, no, you don't need to say something out off the wall to get people on your side if you're actually able to do your job correctly.
Yeah, and even about saying stuff off the wall, to me, it's about delivery.
Yeah,
that gets the laughter. Because I'm trying to think of a comedian. Like if not no disrespect, but there's a way Keenan, Keenan from Keenan and Kel.
Yeah.
The way he'll say a joke and the way Cat Williams say a joke, they could be saying the same thing, but Cat Williams will add a little sauce to it, a little flavor to it. That's what makes it funny.
Yeah.
So I mean, in that regards,
that was kind of like the point he was making, though.
But more where I think I think that because a comedian like him, he says things with sauce, with flavor. So when you try to do that to him, I'm just like there shouldn't be a boundary. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, comedy is not PC. If you're being PC all the time, it's not comedy.
I feel like the best way to, I guess, describe it the way he did, and he didn't say this, but I just kind of just came up with it like just now. It's just like, let's say you work in a job, right? And or like you work in a job position, and this job position is paying you well, and then like over time, this job position does slightly get more different details or more just guided, as jobs do. Like that's happening in my job right now a little bit. And it's just like, okay, well, you can do this, but we don't do this anymore. And you can do this and you can do this, but we don't do this anymore. And he's just like, okay, I can do that. You can do that, or you can find a new job. And I'm not necessarily saying like comedians got like,
that right there is what comedy, just the culture of comedy is not that.
But it's headed that way though.
But you said it's evolving. Comedy has always been getting outside of PC lens, politically correct lens, and saying something that's funny. Deliver it a funny way. So when it's going to that length, and I get what he's saying, like sharpen your tool, find other stuff to say. But my thing is, what's to say when you do that, they create rules again?
Well, what's to say like they don't do that with music too, though, right? Like right now, like we talk about music all the time on here, right?
Yeah, but that's the thing with music too. That's
but you know what? But like we say all the time on here, like not everything's for us. And just because we be like, well, comedy back in my day was wild. Like comedy, Richard Pryor couldn't tell some of his jokes 10 years ago.
I don't know.
Right? But Cat Williams wasn't. He's still funny, right? So what like my point is like comedy, music, basketball, whatever, everything evolves. Like, yeah, they call more fouls now in the NBA. Or yeah, now you have to be more politically correct when you're telling jokes or whatever. Or yeah, now you don't actually have to have a real rhyme scheme sometimes when you rap as long as the beat is good. Whatever. Yeah. But you know what? That entertainment style simply may not or may have changed more than we have.
Yeah. And maybe it's just me being old school because I tend to I'm not gonna say everything that we did in the past was good. My thing is, and this is my point for like even hip hop and comedy. When you keep policing it, just to me, because I know like not everything's for everybody. Everybody has their thing. When you do that, it just takes away, and it's not what it is anymore. Like there's certain things you have to police, and there's certain things where it's like, wow, we're policing that now.
Yeah, and again, it's like individual indiscretion. It's just like dude was talking about wearing a black book bag, and I don't rock with that. So I guess we'll cancel him for that. But you over here sitting on the other side, be like, oh well, I prefer a blue book bag, but it's like whatever. It doesn't actually change nothing for me.
But I think.
Go ahead.
I think with me, because you said individual discretion, right?
Yeah.
I just think we have that. I have my individual discretions, but it's just like my thing with cancel culture. It never feels like individual. It feels like this huge mob that says, "Hey, no," and you know what I'm saying? And it's like that no becomes so big.
It's because that loud voice gets more attention as opposed to like the like there might be 1,000 people saying no, and there might be like 100 or like 100,000 people saying yes. But those 100,000 people over here might be just chilling, and only like 500 of them verbally said yes. But those 1,000 people who said no, 999 of them said no. Yeah. So that seems like a bigger number than the yeses and the nos. When the whole time the yeses were just like nonchalant with it, but the no's were more passionate.
But that's the thing with Twitter and cancel culture, So I do get like we're having a long ass conversation about this.
Mm-hmm. We are. I've noticed.
It's a great conversation, but I think we disagree on, kind of disagree on this.
Mm-hmm.
I just think I don't know where he's coming from, because I think when there's a boundary set, well, figure a way to create. But my thing is, how many boundaries are they going to create? Because when you do that, it takes away from the actual art. It's like, same with hip hop. When we rapping and we coming up with these big rap schemes, and they said you can't do that no more. That's not cool no more. Okay, I switch it up a little. No, that's not cool. We doing this. It simplifies it, and it gets to a point where it's like, this ain't rap, this is just singing.
Well, again, though, bro, that's just like the evolution of it. It's just like, okay, just again with the Richard Pryor thing, like 10 years ago, he couldn't make the jokes he was making like 30 or 40 years ago, however long. And it's just kind of like, okay, 10 years ago, maybe Cat Williams did not feel boxed in. Mm-hmm. But if Richard Pryor was, he would have felt boxed in, right? Because he couldn't make the same jokes he was making.
He could, but
okay. Let me finish first, because I'm gonna forget if I don't. And so, like, by the time Cat Williams, actually gets to the point where, like, you know what, I can't even tell any jokes anymore. His time in the sun has probably already passed. His generation of telling jokes has probably all been done and not doing it anymore. If he's to the point where he's like, you know what, I can't make this joke, I can't make the jokes like I did anymore, my jokes just aren't funny anymore, probably not for him to be making jokes anymore. He should transition to something else.
True. But to people, but they're gonna be people, like you said, that's the evolution in culture. But it's just like when something, I just, as a traditionalist, like you said, what's his name? What's the dude's name? Richard Pryor, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy, okay, you can't say this anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if we can't say this anymore, and Cat Williams can't say this anymore, and the generation shift, like, and this is just my opinion, this is not really, and this is another thing for hip hop too. That's not really comedy. That's not really hip hop.
Well, that's the same thing that our parents say about our music right now too.
That's not really rap, and I know, but that's not really rap.
I feel like I had a conversation with my maybe my grandpa like 2, 3, 4 years ago, talking about like, yeah, y'all listen to this music, but back in my day, such and such music was, like this, and that's what I really like to listen to.
But that's just me being but I'm a traditionalist, so but I don't know what because we've held on this topic for a long time. I don't know
Much longer than anticipated. Yeah.
I don't know what you new kids, what jokes you're gonna like. All I know is I'm rocking with Martin. I'm rocking with Cat Williams. I'm rocking with Kevin Hart. Chris Tucker. That's my era. Eddie Murphy.
and I'm sure they'll always be on like some streaming service or something.
But yeah, damn, that was long. That was a good conversation though.
Yeah.
Nigerian Twitter gets this could
oh man, I forgot we was even doing that. We're doing trending topics.
Yeah, we got so deep into that topic. Nigerian Twitter gets their Twitter got shut down. The president shut down Twitter there.
Denied access to Twitter.
Denied access because I think they shut his Twitter account down. This is my thoughts. Extremely petty. Number one. Number two. I can't really speak on what's going on, but this type of stuff where it's like again, we have to control everything because one person doesn't feel a certain way. I'm getting tired of that. Yeah. Like, hey, kudos to the Nigerian president. I don't know what's going on in Nigeria. I don't know what he said specifically, but come on, man. Just because they took your account down doesn't mean, and then like, I know how African countries are. You're going to start some wild stuff. So I'm praying for peace. This doesn't escalate, but come on, man. Come on. Like, you're taking away people's freedom of speech because yours was suspended for probably violence. So I don't know why I take it out on the people, but I don't.
Yeah, no, and it's just like extremely childish. Just like if I can't do it, then nobody can.
Yep.
It's very very dumb, I guess, or just selfish.
Yeah.
Very.
So shout out to the Nigerians. I know. Shout out to Jimmy, Zahara. What other Nigerians want though? Those are the two I come in my head. Shout out to them. I think that's all we have for the show. Unless Chris, you have something else to say.
I remember the account I was talking about. It was Shade Room. Shade Room was the one.
Oh yeah,
the account I'm talking about. Yeah.
Shade Room. They're weird. Shade Room, Academics, Baller Alert. What's the rest? Yeah, those three.
Yeah.
Those are the three that are just. Yeah, there's something else. I'm not too much of a fan.
Yeah.
They honestly break news faster than CNN.
Yeah, which is crazy.
It's crazy. Okay, but yeah, I don't have much to say, but I'm still working on the mental health life sessions, and I'm gonna continue that sometime this month. I don't know but I don't know when it'll be out, folks. So we'll see. But that's it for the show today. We'll be on YouTube at 3:15 on Mondays. Please subscribe, like, and comment. You know what I'm saying? We need that support. We need it. We need it to grow. You can catch us on all podcast services. We've been on Pandora. I know we're on iHeart. We're on the
basically all streaming services.
All of them. Our social media page is Out of the Berg on IG, Out of the Berg Pod on Twitter. Mine is at Kofi Pita. The Pita is Pita. And on Twitter, it's Pita Kofi. So the other way around. Chris.
You could catch me on Twitter at BigChris_57, and you can catch me on IG at Chris Kelly 57. But I'm probably gonna change both of those soon. Probably. Don't know what yet though.
Yeah, like I always say, stay black, stay woke.
Bye. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Out of the Berg podcast. We're available on all podcasting platforms, and we ask that you like, comment, share, and subscribe, as well as hit that notification bell. That way you'll be notified whenever we release a new video. And as always, we like you, we love you, but we gotta go. Bye.